Hello children, this was 7th standard science, second term in chemistry, unit 3, changes around us. Page number 36. Now first we'll see about the learning objectives. To state the effect of heat on solid, liquid and gas and the associated changes in the arrangement of particles upon heating, to differentiate physical change and chemical change on the basis of particle theory, to involve the experiments crystallizing copper sulfate, melting of ice, freezing water, sublimating camphor, to identify the process as a physical change or chemical change based on its characteristics, to clarify the process of rusting, burning of paper, curdling of milk, reaction of baking soda with lemon juice, to distinguish periodic and non-periodic changes, and to experience the endothermic and exothermic changes through simple activities. So, in this class, we are going to see about physical change. Yes, so there are main changes, two main changes, physical and chemical change. Yes, if you observe this picture, here butter is taken on the pan, and if it is allowed to heat, what will happen? Butter melts. If you take ice cube and if you apply some temperature, it will also melt. So here the state of matter is changing. So what are the three states of matter? Solid, liquid and gas. Yes, these are the three states of matter. The only one substance which exists in all the three states of matter is water. Yes, here ice cube in solid state is converted into liquid state as water. This type of change we call it as physical change. If you take here the next picture, chemical change, iron nail. If you take the new iron nail, the color of the iron nail will have some shiny appearance. Why means iron is a metal. So if you keep that iron nail under the atmosphere, that is open to the atmosphere, because of the climatic condition, after 1 month if you observe that one, because of the water vapor present in the atmosphere, iron react with water vapor to form iron oxide, and that iron oxide we call it as rust, and this process we call it as rusting. Yes, so this is the example for chemical change. Like that, the dough is converted into bread. So these are all the some of the example for chemical changes. So by observing this picture, it is very easy to understand that during physical change, the content will not change. The composition will not change, but during the chemical change, the composition will be changing. So here in the introduction part, they have taken two changes. That is, changes take place around us all the time. When you observe around you, all the time there will be some changes. Yes, there are many changes. There is physical change, chemical change, reversible change, irreversible change, periodic change, non-periodic change. All these changes you have studied in 6th standard itself. Is here a change refers to an alteration in physical properties or alteration in the composition of matter. Is a change means it refers to an alteration in physical properties. Physical properties means changing the state, changing the color, changing the smell, everything. Is or alteration in the composition of matter. Composition of matter means the elements are converted into some products. New products will be formed. If there is new product is formed, means we call that as a chemical change. If there is no new compound is formed, new matter is formed, means we call that as a physical change. So in this paragraph, they have explained about physical change. That is, they are taking ice cubes, and if you heat ice cube, ice cube is in solid state. When you heat it, it is converted into liquid state. That is what that is water. Is so this process we call it as melting of ice. Again, if you apply some temperature, that is, if you are continuously heating it, water will be converted into water vapor. is this, that process we call it as evaporation. Is so solid, when you heat it, it is converted into liquid, and liquid water, when you heat it, it is converted into water vapor, that is in gaseous state. Is so this is the physical change. Only the volume will be changing, but it, as ice cube, it is having hydrogen and oxygen. As water also it is having hydrogen and oxygen. As water vapor also it is having hydrogen and oxygen. So the composition will not change, only the physical properties are changing. This is the best example for physical change. The next one is chemical change. If you take iron nail, when it is exposed to atmosphere, due to the water vapor present in the atmosphere, it is converted into iron oxide, and that process we call it as rusting. And here iron oxide new product is formed, so we call that as the chemical change. So let us go for another set of example. Heat a cup of water and a paper. Yes, so if you heat a cup of water, water which is present in the cup will be converted into water vapor, isn't it? It will be converted into water vapor. But if you take paper, if you burn paper, paper will be converted into ashes, isn't it? Paper will be converted into ashes. So the heating of water is a physical change, burning of paper is a chemical change. Understood, children? Yes. So when you mix sugar in water, it is it a chemical change or physical change? So if you mix sugar and water or salt and water, salt solution or sugar solution will be produced. Yes, so volume alone will change, so it is a physical change. But if you heat it, there will be some reaction will be taking place. That process we call it as chemical change. So here one a picture is given, is rusting of iron, digestion of food, boiling egg, rotting banana, mixing sand and water, chopping wood, crushing a can, mixtures of different colored buttons, burning of food. So if you take these changes one by one, we can see. First one, rusting of iron. Rusting of iron, here iron is converted into iron oxide, so it is a chemical change. Digestion, so what are all the foodstuffs you are taking, with the help of oxygen, it is burnt and it is converted into energy, so it is also a chemical change. Then boiling of egg, that is also chemical change. That is next one, rotting banana, that is also chemical change. Mixing sand and water, after mixing it you can separate it, so it is a physical change. Chopping wood, after it is chopped wood, each and everything will have the same property. Each and every piece of that wood will have same property. There is no new product is formed, only the size has changed, so it is also physical change. The next one, crushing a can, it is also a physical change. The shape only has changed. Then colored buttons, you can separate the colored buttons, so it is also physical change. Then next one, burning of wood, by burning of wood, the wood will be converted into ashes, so it is a chemical change. So one table is given, you can write what are all the physical changes and chemical changes by observing the picture what it is given. So in 6th standard itself, you have studied about matter. So what are the three states of matter, solid, liquid and gas, and also the molecular arrangement of solid, liquid and gas. Yes, let us recollect it. In solids, the molecules are closely packed, tightly packed. In liquids, it is loosely packed, and in gas, it is very loosely packed. Yes, the intermolecular attraction between the molecules is strong and solid, is little bit weak in liquid, and it is very weak in gas. So now we'll see effect of heat on solid, liquid and gases. So if you observe this picture, in solids, first one solid, second one liquid, third one gas. So if you take solids, here the molecules are tightly packed. Yes, and in liquid it is loosely packed, and in gas it is very loosely packed. So solid, in which particles are very close each other and particles are arranged in a fixed regular pattern. Is based on the shape of the solid, the molecules are arranged. The particles can vibrate about their fixed position. If you apply some heat, the molecules start to vibrate. In liquid, in which the particles are close together, particles are not arranged in a fixed regular pattern. So only we are not having any shape of the liquid. The liquid will take the shape of the container. So particles are able to slide past one another. Then gas, the molecules are very loosely packed, that is they are far apart from each other. Particles are not arranged in a fixed regular pattern, so particles move freely over long distance. So by observing this picture, you can say solids have definite shape, size and volume. Liquids will not have any shape, but it is having some particular volume. Gas is also not having definite shape, but it will have some volume. So here in solids, the molecules are tightly packed and it will start vibrating in a fixed position when it is applied any external temperature or pressure. So here effect of heat again and heat loss. Suppose if you are taking, this is also explained based on the melting of ice. So you are taking ice cubes and you are heating it, means that ice cubes will be converted into water, that is in liquid state, and this process we call it as melting. That is the first table it is given, may result in melting. And next one, boiling. If you allow water to boil, the water started to boiling. And freezing and condensation. Freezing and condensation means water vapor which we are observed by boiling, when it is cooled. Yes, when it is cooled, it will be converted into water, and again on further cooling, it will be converted into ice cubes. Isn't it? So freezing. If you keep water in the freezer, that is in the fridge, it will be after 5 or 6 hours, you can get ice cubes. Is water, when it is allowed to that is the temperature is decreasing, that time you will be getting water in a cube, that is solid state. This brings about changes in state. So effect of heat on solid and liquid and gas. So if you apply heat energy on ice cubes, it will be converted into water. That process we call it as melting. And again if you heat it, the boiling will start place. Yes, and that will be converted into water vapor, that we call it as boiling. Again after boiling, the water vapor what we are getting, it is allowed to cool, it will be converted into water again. That process we call it as condensation, and that water again it is cooled, you will be getting ice cubes. Is the right hand side may result in expansion or contraction, during which volume changes, mass is conserved. So when you take the amount of the ice cube or volume of ice cube or volume of water or volume of, that is water vapor, the volume may change. Yes, volume may change, but mass will be conserved. So these are all the, then this is the example for effect of heat on heat or loss of heat. Is let us now see some physical changes and underlying the reason, as they are very simply changes. Now we'll see first change, physical change, burning of lamp. Physical changes are the changes in which only the physical properties of a substance undergo a change and there is no change in its chemical composition. There is no new substance also formed. Physical properties include, so what are all the physical properties? By seeing one object, what are all the points you can write? That is physical property. Understood, children? By observing anything, the outer appearance, on the basis of outer appearance, if you are writing some points, that are all we call it as physical properties. So physical properties include luster. Luster means shiny appearance. Malleability. Malleability means it can be converted into sheets or wires, I told, no, that is malleability. Ductility, able to, that is malleability means it can be converted into sheets. Ductility means it can be drawn into thin wire. Yes, and next one, density. What is meant by density? Mass by volume, that we call it as density. You have studied in first term. Viscosity, solubility. Solubility means that is if you take salt and you are adding water into it, salt will be dissolved to get salt water. If you add sugar, you will be getting sugar solution, that is solubility. Mass, and volume and so on. So these are all the physical properties. So any change in these physical properties is referred to as a physical change. For example, when a rubber band is stretched, it elongates. However, when the stretching is stopped, the rubber band comes back to its original state and shape. In this example, there is no new substance is formed, but the rubber band remains the same before and after elongation. So now we'll see the characteristics of physical change one by one. So during physical change, no new substances are formed. That is the first point. During physical change, no new substances are formed. In a physical change, the chemical properties of a substance do not change. Is only the physical properties will change, chemical properties will not change. For example, when ice cube melts, water is formed. In this change, there is no new substance, but water is same both in ice and in water. Then second point, a physical change is usually temporary. Yes, usually it is temporary in nature and it is reversible also. For example, when water is heated, water vapors are formed. Once water vapors are cooled, water can be obtained again. This type of changes we call it as reversible changes. Third point, in a physical change, the chemical properties of a substance do not change. For example, when a piece of gold is melted, its chemical composition remains the same in the solid form and also in the liquid form. So when you want to get ornaments, gold ornaments, they will be having gold biscuit and they will melt it and it is converted into liquid state. Again, after getting the liquid stage, it can be converted into designs, particular designs is bangle, chain, stud, etc. So when it is gold is melted also, the properties will not change. In physical change, the physical properties such as color, shape and size of a substance may undergo change. Already I explained. Color may change, shape may change, size may change during the physical change. For example, cutting of vegetables and inflating a balloon are some of the examples of physical changes in which size and shape of a substance undergo a change. Now we'll see the changes of states. So what are the three states? Solid, liquid and gas. So the following are some of the changes of state. Solid to liquid means that process we call it as melting. Liquid to gas, vaporization. Liquid to solid, freezing. Gas to liquid, condensation. Solid to gas, sublimation. Now we'll see the example. Solid to liquid, that is melting of ice. Liquid to gas, vaporization. When you heat a cup of water, it will be converted into water vapor. That process we call it as vaporization. But what is evaporation? Evaporation means with the help of solar energy. With the help of solar energy, seawater is converted into water vapor, isn't it? Seawater is converted into water vapor and it is forming cloud, isn't it? That process we call it as evaporation. Drying of clothes under sunlight is also evaporation. So there is a difference between vaporization and evaporation. Vaporization means we are applying heat energy. Evaporation means with the help of sunlight itself it is converted. Clear, children? The next one, liquid to solid. Suppose if you take water and if you are keeping it in a freezer, it is converted into ice cube. That process freezing. Gas to liquid, that is condensation. Clouds is in a cloud, the water is present in the form of water vapor. By means of cooling, by means of condensation, it is converted into rain. That is condensation. Solid to gas, that is process. The process of converting solid to gas directly without undergoing liquid state, that we call it as sublimation. The best example is camphor. If you take camphor is white in color, it is solid. When you ignite it, it will be directly converted into vapor, camphor vapor. That process we call it as sublimation. So melting, vaporization and sublimation occur when heated. Melting, vaporization, sublimation, everything are occur when it is heated, since it is called as endothermic process. So there are two processes, endothermic process, exothermic process. Endo means absorbing heat, exo means releasing heat. Clear children? Endo means absorbing heat, exo means releasing heat. So here melting, vaporization and sublimation, the ice cube or water vapor or water or camphor or observing heat and it is burning, started to burn or started to convert its stage. So this process we call it as endothermic process. So in an endothermic process, the speed of the molecules is increased and hence they move faster. That means when you apply heat energy, it started to vibrate, the speed will be increased. So in contrast, such as in freezing and condensation, heat is removed. In freezing, the temperature is reducing, that means it is liberating heat, so we call that as a exothermic reaction. Heat is removed, resulting in decreasing the speed of the molecules, causing them move slower, and such process are called as exothermic process. So first we'll see melting. You have seen a puddle of water getting cooled around the glass of ice cream or a glass of water. Ice cubes, when it is kept in a room temperature. Suppose you are getting ice cream from the shop and if you keep it on the table, after some time you can observe that ice cream melts, isn't it? That means it is absorbing heat from the surrounding and it is converted into, that is, it starts to melting. Is so here on activity, that is melting of ice and freezing of water. Though ice and water look different, they are both made up of water molecules. This means that no new substance is formed during the melting of ice. Only the change of state from solid to liquid is taking place, or liquid to solid. Melting of ice means solid to liquid. Freezing of water means liquid to solid, take place during the melting of ice. So the melting of ice is to form water is a physical change. Now it's understood, children. So physical change means only the state can change, color can change, volume can increase or decrease, but there will not be any new substances formed. The change which occurs during the melting of ice to form water can be reversed easily by freezing the water to form ice again, by keeping a beaker of water in the freezer zone of a refrigerator. Thus we can find that solid on heating converted into liquid, liquid on cooling it is converted into solid. So melting is the changing of a solid into its liquid state and it happens only by heating, whereas freezing is the changing of a liquid into its solid state and it happens by cooling. Clear, children? The next process, vaporization. Already I explained vaporization. Vaporization is nothing but taking, look at the kettle kept on the fire, the bubbles form and the liquid water becomes started to converted into water vapor. That is, you are taking water in a cup and you are heating it, means it starts to boil and it is converted into water vapor. And however, when you put a wet cloth to dry, the water evaporates into air, leaving the clothes dry. So vaporization means when you apply some heat, it started, water will be converted into water vapor. That process we call it as vaporization. But when you keep wet clothes under the sunlight, it after some time it is dried. Is that process we call it as evaporation. But there are two types of vaporization, boiling and evaporation. Boiling means boiling of water. Evaporization, that is the first one is by heating and the second type of vaporization is natural. So boiling is a process of conversion of a liquid into vapor on heating. In gaseous state, only the arrangement of molecules changes and there is no change in the chemical composition. So, boiling is a physical change. So, you can observe this picture. Particles of a gas, they are very loosely packed, and particles of a liquid, they are loosely packed. So, upon heating a liquid, the particles gain energy and vibrate more vigorously. When the particles possess enough energy, they overcome the strong forces of attraction between one another and the particles break free from one another and move randomly. For example, when liquid water is heated to 100 degrees centigrade, it boils to become steam. So boiling occurs when the boiling point is reached. So the boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. So when it reaches 100 degrees centigrade, it will be converted into water vapor. Then evaporation, take a glass of water. All the water molecules are moving here and there at different velocities. So some of the molecules, especially at the surface, could be moving in a direction away from the liquid. So and have the adequate energy to overcome the attractive force of the liquid. So then that molecule will escape into the air. That means if you take a bowl of water, the water which molecules which are present on the sides and also the top layer will start to evaporate first. Okay, then that molecule will escape into the air. Thus slowly and steadily the water molecules escape or said to evaporate, and the water level in the glass decreases as the time passes. So note that the temperature of the water did not raise the level of boiling point of water, nor were there any bubbles formed like boiling. That is, in evaporation there is no heating process is required. With the help of that energy which are present in the atmosphere, it started to move. That is, it started to convert into water vapor. No bubbles will be observed. It will not reach the boiling point also. So evaporation is a technique used to separate dissolved solids from a solid liquid mixture. For a best example is salt, preparation of salt from seawater. Yes, this is a technique used to extract salt from seawater in salt pans. Shallow level of seawater is impounded and slowly the water evaporates due to the action of sun, and ultimately salt deposits over the ground, we can understand. So evaporation makes the use of fact that the solvent in a solution can vaporize at very temperature and leaving behind a residue of the solid that was dissolved in the liquid. Suppose if you are taking salt water, is that is you are taking small amount of salt and mixed it with water, and if you keep it as such, after some time you can observe that water will be salt will be deposited at the bottom of the tumbler. If you are adding more amount of salt only, it will be deposited at the bottom. So from drying clothes to drying fish, evaporation is used. Yes, there is water vapor which are present in the clothes or water vapor present in the fish are converted into water vapor. So factors affecting the rate of evaporation. Now we'll see the factors affecting the rate of evaporation. In the activity, second activity, you must be remembering an activity done in a class 6 in which we have taken two same shaped glasses and filled them with equal amount of water from the same tap. We kept one under the hot sun and the other under the shadow. After 3 to 4 hours, we saw that there is a difference in water levels. The one kept in hot place witnessed more evaporation compared to the one in the shade. Is from this we can conclude that higher the temperature, the rate of evaporation will be more. So first factor is higher the temperature, the rate of evaporation will be more. As the temperature increases, more molecules are able to break free from the surface, and thus the rate of evaporation increase with rising temperature. Then activity 3, take two pans, one wide and another narrow. Fill hot water in both to the same depth. Keep them in open. Observe after 1 to 2 hours, the pan that is wide has cooled more than the narrow one. That is, the more the surface area, the rate of evaporation is more. The more the surface area, the evaporation will be more. So from this, you can you guess why we unfurl the clothes while putting them to dry rather than just drop them over the cloth line? On the line, we are expanding the surface of the area of the clothes. Is the next one. So greater the first one is greater the temperature, evaporation will be more. Second one, if the surface area is increasing, evaporation will be more. The next one, take sugar solution in the shallow broad bowl. Place the bowl in hot sun for few hours. See that the bowl does not get any disturbance for some whole day. So you can see that the solvent in the sugar solution evaporates, leaving the sugar crystals in the bowl. So evaporation is a slow process and occurs only at the surface of the liquid. So with this, I'll stop this lesson. Yes. So in this lesson, up to this, We have seen some of the example of physical changes and what is meant by melting, what is vaporization, what is evaporation, what is exothermic change, what is endothermic change, what is physical change, and some of the chemical changes also we have seen. In the next class we will continue with the same. Okay children, thank you.